welcome to another video. It's the start of week, who knows at this point? I certainly don't. It's day 6 of my IV treatment, and then I've got a day off tomorrow, which I am really looking forward to. So I have officially completed week 1. Phew! It's so strange, it does not feel at all like a Saturday today. I don't even know what day it feels like. The days are so messed up because I'm not doing any of my kind of usual routine things, so I don't have anything to kind of go by when it comes to days. Like, I literally have no idea what day it is. My parents are kind of swapping over tomorrow, so my dad's been here with me this week, and then my mum is coming up tomorrow. We're going to have lunch, and then my dad's driving back and going to work for the week, and my mum's staying with me next week. I ate dinner quite early today, and I've taken my medication, so I'm just going to lie in bed, read the Hunger Games, and just fall asleep as soon as I can. So I've very much enjoyed my day off. It's been really nice. I'm trying to kind of think and collect my sort of thoughts and feelings about sort of the first week. I haven't noticed any great difference in my symptoms. It's very hard to tell because there's ways in which I'm using a lot more energy, but there's also ways I'm using a lot less. Nothing about this last week has been normal, basically. In terms of my other symptoms, I mean, for me, fatigue is my main symptom. Severe fatigue is my main symptom. I think my pain has been a bit better. So there are things that have been slightly better and things that haven't been any better at all. For me, the fatigue is the thing I want to change, the thing I need to change for my quality of life to get any better. So tomorrow is the start of week 2, and this week I'm going to be starting some B12 injections. And I'm not deficient in B12. My tests say I'm not deficient, but there is a lot of research that says with chronic fatigue that B12 injections help a lot with the brain fog and the fatigue. So I think I'm going to try that. Hopefully that will help my fatigue. And hopefully the antibiotics will start to do more work in week 2. We shall see. Day 8 is complete. It's my mum's first day getting everything together and learning the routine and everything, so it was kind of hectic. The sky on the way home was unbelievable. I'm going to have to insert some footage here because it was just, I think it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. It was fantastic. Hopefully I sleep well because tomorrow is another day. Day 10. It's Wednesday today, which means that the same as last week, I have an appointment with Dr. Mohammed before I have my IV infusion. I'm a little bit anxious because I had my blood test results emailed to me this morning, and a lot of the liver ones were elevated, which I think means that my liver is not coping well with the IV antibiotics. So I'm a little bit worried as to what that means, but I'm sure I'll hear all about it when I speak to Dr. Mohammed. So let's go. So it turns out that my hunch was correct. My liver is not coping well with the IV antibiotics, and the doctor said I'm going to have to stop them for at least the rest of the week. In the meantime, until Saturday, I'm going to be having infusions of glutathione and thioctic acid, I think that's what it's called. And those two things aid my liver's detoxing ability. So hopefully, after I have a few days of those, my liver will go back to normal and I'll be able to restart the antibiotics. I'm going to have some more blood tests on Saturday, and those results will come in on Monday, and then we'll go from there. But it will mean that I'll be 4 days behind my schedule. I'm trying not to let it get me down too much, but I can't honestly say that I'm succeeding very well in that. I'm really tired and just a bit fed up with everything. So I'm going to go to bed and listen to Harry Potter audiobooks and hope that tomorrow is a better day. Today's been one of those days where I honestly don't know how I survived it. I didn't have a headache, I wasn't in a lot of pain, but I was just really tired. And when I use the word tired, I'm not talking about the usual sort of tired. I'm talking about the seriously ill tired, where your bones feel like they weigh a ton and the muscles in your neck are shaking because they can't hold your head up. This is not the sort of tired that you can push through because there's nowhere to go. There really isn't. But I did it. I got dressed. I got all the way to Breakspear, and I was lying in the bed in my room, and she was about to put the IV in, and I was like, I'm gonna faint. And I had to say, do you mind if you just wait, for a few minutes, because I really think I'm gonna pass out. And the nurse was lovely, She was like, of course, is there anything I can get you? I was like, nothing that will make me feel better. After 10 minutes, she came back, and I felt well enough for her to put the IV in. It was the first time, actually, that I thought, I really want to go home. I don't want to be here. Tomorrow I'm having blood tests and then more medication to help my liver detox. And then we'll get the results back on Monday and we'll see if I can restart the antibiotics. I really hope I can. Today has been another really bad day. Thankfully, it was my day off because today's Sunday. And I say thankfully, and I mean that with all my heart, because I honestly don't think I would have been able to make it to the hospital today if I'd have had to go in. I was in a lot of pain. I couldn't really move, and every time I did, I felt like I wanted to throw up. I'm still feeling pretty sick now, but not as bad as before. I think the nausea is to do with the glutathione I've been having for the majority of this week. It's an IV version of Essential GSH, which is a supplement I started taking a few months ago and immediately realised I couldn't tolerate it because it just made me feel so nauseous. And I've been feeling like that today and the last few days, admittedly, but just not as bad. I hope I feel better tomorrow, because if I don't know how I'm gonna get out of bed and make it out to the hospital. So it's nearly the end of day 15, I think. Yeah, 15. Today we didn't know whether I was going to be starting antibiotics again or staying on the detox. It turns out it's a bit of both. I'm starting the antibiotics again, but only on a half dose, and then I'm continuing with the detox. So I had 3 infusions today, which is like the most I've ever had, and it took much longer. And by the time I'd got back here, I hadn't eaten in over 5 hours, and that's not good for anybody, especially someone who's got diabetes, and especially someone who's chronically ill. That's just never a good thing. So when we got back, I was feeling quite weird, and then after about an hour, I obviously had some food, but I still wasn't feeling any better. I was actually feeling worse, and now I've got such a bad headache, and my vision keeps going like blurry, which is really freaking me out, and my neck and just joints are killing me. So obviously I'm in a herx, and this is the kind of herx that I was afraid of. This is the kind of herx that if I had to have at home, I wouldn't do anything, because usually it lasts for a few days. So I've no idea how tomorrow is going to pan out, but we shall just have to wait and see. I can safely say that, without a doubt, last night was the worst herx I've ever had. I think I seem to say that a lot every time I have a bad herx, but I'm really not exaggerating here. It was actually kind of terrifying. I had a migraine, like I usually do. I also had aches throughout my whole body, which again, I usually do, but it was so much worse than I usually have. And I also had stabbing pains in my joints whenever I moved them. When I was lying in bed, the skin that was kind of in contact with the bed was hurting. So when I rolled over in bed, it was just agony. And I was also shivering seriously violently, even though I had a really high temperature. I don't think I've ever felt that ill in my entire life. Obviously, I didn't sleep very well last night, which means I don't know how I'm going to get to the hospital today. I really don't know. I just want to lie here and go back to sleep, and I can't. Well, I honestly have no idea how I managed to get through today, but I did, and I survived, and that is the only good thing I can say about today. Dr. Mohammed came and saw me and said, okay, I think we shouldn't do the antibiotics today, we should just do the detox stuff. I also had a vitamin C infusion and a B12 injection. So I've got all the detox agents in me. And weirdly, I just randomly started crying. Whenever I had to sort of talk, it was such an effort that I would just start tearing up. They had a real trouble getting a vein today. And the nurse who was looking said, yeah, when you're having a bad day, it can be harder to get a vein. It's like your body wants to curl up in itself and just protect itself. And that made me cry. And I was like, what is going on? Luckily, I was wearing sunglasses. People didn't think I was crazy. I think I'm definitely feeling a bit better than I was this morning. So I don't know whether that's just I've gone through the wall of sleep deprivation, or whether the injections and infusions I had today are actually doing something. I'm hoping for the latter. I don't feel nearly as bad as I did last night, so I'm hopeful that I will actually get some sleep tonight, so that's really good. So I've survived another day. Today was again really hard. I mean, slightly easier than yesterday, but only infinitesimally so. I did get some sleep last night, but I still felt so ill when I woke up this morning. I can't have the IVs at the moment because I can't go through another herx like I had a couple of days ago. I physically can't do that. So I didn't have antibiotics again today. I just had the detox cocktail. And that would be good if it made me feel any better. But it doesn't seem to. And also on top of that, the detox cocktail makes me feel sick. Like really sick to my stomach. And then you have to factor in the payback from all the exertion that I'm having, the sleep deprivation because I haven't really been sleeping the past few nights. All that combined really makes it feel impossible at the moment. There were more tears today before I left and whilst I was there. But the plan for the rest of the week is to stay on this detox cocktail with the added vitamin C, and then hopefully we'll restart antibiotics again next week. I've started taking oral antibiotics again just for the sort of next few days to kind of tide me over, I guess. I'm kind of at the point now where I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to do this because I feel like I'm torturing myself. It's so hard. Would you believe it? I'm finally exporting my next treatment vlog. So the treatment vlog that's exporting now is the week before I leave for Breakspear and the first week of IV antibiotics. And looking at myself then, like when I was editing it, I was so like peppy and cheerful. And I have a feeling that when I come to edit this one, it's going to be a whole different ball game. So I'm sorry if you're watching this that it's not been a very positive vlog. I'm trying my best to be positive, but it's really damn hard. I think it's better to be real than to be inanely positive all the time. Well, thankfully, today has been a bit more positive. Not necessarily in how I've been feeling, but I saw Dr. Mohammed today and he was like, oh, I've been thinking about your case a lot, trying to work out, if there's something we're missing. I think there must be something that we're missing, which was so nice to hear that he was actually like really, really trying to figure out, why I'm still feeling so bad. Too bad to restart antibiotics, even with all the detox stuff that I'm having. And he said, oh, I want you to speak to a colleague of mine. And it was another doctor in Breakspear, and I can't for the life of me remember his name, which I'm feeling really bad about. He's an internal medicine specialist. I'm not really sure what that means. He was asking me questions kind of related to my diabetes because Dr. Mohammed thinks that the diabetes is the key. So I spoke to this other doctor for about half an hour, 45 minutes, just going through my symptoms, my history. He did a physical examination. He wants to test my urine for cortisol, which is a hormone, and he also wants to get some more in-depth thyroid tests done. He's also going to write to my GP to try and get my GP to refer me to an endocrinologist and a gynecologist, which is obviously one of my least favourite things to do in the world, but it has to be done. So on the whole, I'm feeling much more positive than I have done the past few days. I've kind of just felt like directionless. I don't really know why I'm here because I'm too ill for the antibiotics and the detox isn't working, and going in every day is so hard when I feel this ill, and all I want to do is just be at home in my own bed and not have to think about this, just think about Christmas and family and presents and stuff like that. But after today, I'm feeling a bit better about it all. I know I'm in the right place. I know that Breakspear is the right place to be. I've had more attention from doctors today at Breakspear than I have done in at least the past 6 months in the NHS. I'm going to go to bed now, hoping that I get some sleep, and hopefully tomorrow is another positive day. Today was a pretty hard one, actually. I know I was kind of seeming quite positive last night, but yeah, today was harder. I had some blood tests done yesterday, got the results today, and my liver is looking good, almost back to normal, which means that I'm going to have an antibiotic infusion tomorrow, and then if I have a really bad herx like I did last time, at least I'll have Sunday to kind of recover before I have to go in again on Monday. That's the good things that happened today. The bad things was that I've been feeling really ill today. Really, really nauseous all day. I don't tolerate one of the components of the detox cocktail very well. I don't tolerate glutathione, and I've had it pretty much every day for 2 weeks now. So the effects are kind of building up, and each day it's been slightly worse, and today was just so bad. But I don't have to have it tomorrow. Yay! I'm so happy about that, I can't even tell you. I'm more happy about not having the glutathione tomorrow than I am about actually having the antibiotics. Actually, I've just remembered that today marks the end of another video. The last 2 weeks have been ridiculously hard, but this time in a week I'll be so close to going home, so I'm just focusing on that. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I know it's probably been really negative and a lot of me just talking to the camera and saying how crap I feel. But honestly, that's pretty much what these 2 weeks have been. So I hope it's not been too boring or depressing. I'll see you again very soon. Bye.